Action.
Interview 1, take 3.
Rolling.
Okay, rolling.
Interview 2.
My name is Megan Gorman, and I teach 5th grade at Gravenstein Elementary School.
My name is Dana McNeely, and I am an RSP paraprofessional who works in special ed.
I think my day-to-day responsibilities are keeping the children alive, teaching math, language arts, social studies, science, art, PE, anything that they need.
Yes, so my day-to-day responsibilities vary. It can completely change, but my main job is to work with students who come to us for different services, different academic services throughout the day, as well as support. And I can possibly run my own groups, or I assist the other teacher in the room in making sure the instruction's delivered. I also handle IEP paperwork. I help with the processing of that, as well as any support in classrooms.
My belief is one thing that makes it extremely unique is the fact that it's the one job you can be unprofessional, and that's what it is to be professional. You get to color, crawl on the floor, read picture books all day, and just basically play with kids. And that's considered professional. So to me, that's unique.
I think that no 2 days are the same and no 2 students are the same. So it's a constant challenge in the most positive way. Now, I think, like I said, no 2 students are like, their needs are very different. And so you have to be on your toes. You have to be able to adapt to anything at any time.
I've always worked with children and animals, so it was back and forth between whether I wanted to become a pediatrician, veterinarian, or a teacher. And I worked in a veterinary hospital for several years in high school, and then I started working in after-school programs, and I just fell in love with teaching.
I actually didn't, in all honesty. I went back to work when my daughter was young, and it was an easy fit because our schedules would sync up and we had the same time off, so I didn't have to worry about childcare. And I discovered that I absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved, and in particular, special education. I love helping these kids feel like they have a seat at the table and making sure that they learn and that their self-worth is wrapped in that they know that they're capable.
Yes, I do believe my school does a really good job of supporting our departments. We become very squeaky and loud when we're not supported, so I think it's always in their best interest to support us as well.
Yes, we actually, in comparison to what I hear from some districts, we are very well supported. So from teachers to admin, as well as the students themselves. So, and we are a very cohesive team within special education, because in order to work in education, period, I think you need to have a very big heart and have to be flexible. And I think that we all do that really well inside our department. So yes, we do feel supported.
I think every teacher always wants to adapt their teaching to meet the needs of their students. No one should, and continue wanting to teach, see a student struggle and not meet them where they are and help them succeed. So
that, especially in my position, is key. So no 2 students are the same. They don't present the same way. Their challenges are different. And even 2 children with the same diagnosis present very differently and might need different things. So my day is all about assessing how they're doing psychologically when they come in through the door and being able to adapt my approach to that to be sensitive and to make sure they're in the best academic and emotional space they can be.
I feel like when I watch the news, teachers do seem to be very undervalued in what they do. There are definitely times when I've felt that they don't understand, they don't value what we do in the classroom. Like, I believe I've had or heard people make comments of like, oh, we can just hire a new teacher. It's like, well, no, it's not that simple. So when I hear comments like that, I feel undervalued, but for the most part, I do feel valued. I feel like the parents that come in are just in awe of the fact that we can wrangle that many students to do what they need to do?
Yes, I do. I think that teachers are extremely undervalued. Teachers don't just teach. They wear many different hats. So they are nurses, they are psychologists, they are parents on some days. They are. So they have to be able to switch many different hats during the day.
I do feel like our school is adequately getting the students what they need to learn. I like the curriculum that we use. I took part in choosing the curriculum and planning it. I also feel like we use a lot of outside sources of things as well to enhance what we already have in our curriculum.
I'm going to answer yes and no. So yes, there's a breadth of knowledge that is addressed in standards, but Common Core standards are also, while I understand the purpose of them, to make sure that everybody's accessing the same skills, they can be very difficult for different parts of that educational population. So I find that with special education in particular, there's a lot of adapting that needs to happen, and we don't always get to meet those standards as we're generally behind the curve.
I think their personalities always stand out to me. Their silliness, their jokes, their pranks, their joy to be a kid.
I think anyone who works in education has that memory of certain students that really just touched your heart. Oddly enough, some of them are the most challenging students that we've had, because I know, in particular for me, that the most challenging students are giving you the most information, even if you don't know it, but they are screaming to be seen, they are screaming to be heard and to be supported. And I will go out of my way, as will most educators, to try and connect with students who don't seem reachable. So in my personal opinion, during the day, I know that society has given up on some of these kids. They deem them to be difficult or unteachable, and I don't subscribe to that whatsoever. I think that every child can be reached with the right approach and with enough care. And I do have several students over the years who have stuck out to me. I have some that I have tutored outside of work that still mean a lot to me. And through distance learning, I actually formed a unique bond, I think, with a lot of students. I don't like to look at it as a challenge as much as I like to look at it as an opportunity to improve my approach. Every kid is teaching me at the same time that I might be teaching them. So honestly, I've gotten better over the years just learning what different things mean and how to communicate with different students.
Well,
All right, well, thank you.
So I do feel like our curriculum is meeting their needs. Bye. Have a wonderful spring break. Later. Just stand at the back, Ava.